Another chance for us to do some desert perspectives reflections for y'all this week. The one I've been currently reflecting on has to do with the paradox between the extremes of overcomplication and oversimplification. And if we just take the simple version, just complication, complicatedness, and simplified explanations. It came about because in group therapy we were talking about relationships and their complicated nature, and I thought about how important it was to really recognize how complicated relationships can be, and understand the dynamics that occur on many levels. And I thought, well, the problem with that is when you overcomplicate relationships, you kind of miss the point and miss the chance to really connect with people on a more simple, just basic emotional level. So on the complication side, or the complicated side, comes the reality of, you think about, like, so let's say someone does something that is hurtful to me, and now I have a bunch of questions or options. What do I do? Do I say something? Do I say nothing? Do I insinuate? Do I hint? Do I just deal with the emotions? Do I not deal with the emotions and just cope? What do I do? Just in that simple scenario, you'll see, many options, and how complicated even just that can be. And you add in there history. You add in that, and that has layers upon layers. You add in there your own history, their history, other, your emotional makeup. You add in there the context of the situation, the timing, age, perspective, and you realize that even that one simple question about what do I do when somebody has said something that I experience as hurtful, and you realize that relationships are extremely complicated. Because then if you take it the next step, let's say you do something, and now you have to deal with what you did, and all the complicatedness that comes with that. And then what do you do with the emotions, right? What if you have a feeling about someone, and that feeling about someone is overwhelming, and yet you can't just snap and make that feeling go away, but that feeling is causing you harm, and you're not liking it, or you're missing that it's causing you harm, and you're just kind of stuck in the feeling itself. So that's the complicatedness of it, and I think if we don't give some acknowledgement of how complicated it is, then we, when we have difficult decisions to make, or when we need to step back and get perspective, we're going to miss it. And at the same time, back to the simplified version, just sometimes just going for it, right? Not thinking much, or just taking the time. When I say not thinking, I guess it's just taking the time to soak it in, and just slowly react based off of instinct and gut, if you will, in relationships. And we are often surprised of how often the positiveness of our decisions when we have been able to step back and just breathe and not take in the complicatedness and just feel the relationship. This topic also came about because of group, and we were talking about how hard it is in treatment, either when you're working with staff, therapists, or you're reflecting on your parents, that they're asking you to do something that's very difficult, which is accept being here, accept the uncomfortableness of your situation, accept your issues, accept what's going to happen next, accept that your future is unknown. And you can have a lot of negative feelings, right, toward me as a therapist, toward parents, and being able to move out of that can be very challenging. And so I think as adults, we need to make sure we're validating the complicatedness of it. We need to recognize that our decisions that we make for or with our children have impact. And it shouldn't paralyze us, right? That's back to the simplification of the paradox, but should hopefully allow us to just gain more perspective, right? Relate more, understand more, and hopefully that'll influence our ability to make those simplified decisions, right? And to live in that side of the paradox. So we take a deep breath and live in that paradox, right? The paradox of simplification and complication that exists in relationships. And we try and love the people that we're working with and our kids, and try and do the best by them that we can, knowing that there are no easy answers and there is no, book, as they say, that tells us exactly what to do. So hope y'all are hanging in there. We'll keep taking care of your kids and loving them and trying our best to serve them in the best way possible, and you all as parents as well. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.